As mentioned in my Outlook video for 2024, I want to try out new video formats on this channel. And one of them is trying to do more plugin reviews. And today's candidate is the Audioscape XL-305R, which is the official plugin of the Spring Reverb that Audioscape is building. Actually, the XL-305R gives you two plugins for the price of one, because you can switch between the now released XL-305R and the original, the XL-305 from the 80s. They sound a little bit different. The XL-305 is a little bit more dirty, I believe, whilst the XL-305R sounds a little bit more pristine, but it's great to have those different choices available, and obviously you can't do that with the hardware, so it's pretty cool that Audioscape implemented this option. Taking a look at the parameters, there's nothing really complicated here. So you have an input for the plugin, of course, then you have a mix, so either you can have it fully wet or completely dry, and I use it on an auxiliary return channel, so I put it in 100% wet. And then you have this 4-band equalizer, which is pretty cool, because Spring Reverbs tend to have a lot of energy in certain frequencies, especially when you are using drums and certain sounds that have a long sustain, because the way that Spring Reverbs are built, they tend to like self-oscillate a little bit. I would describe it as that, but I think it's technically wrong, so don't listen to me, but that's how I interpret sometimes the sound. And what that means is that your mix can become overbloated and you are masking certain frequencies. So it's great to have that. Mind you, this EQ is for the return channel. So you are actually EQing the return, the affected signal solely, not the input signal. Then you have the option to link or unlink the left and the right channel. Kind of self-explanatory. If it's unlinked, then I can set different parameters for the right side and vice versa. And then there is the monodrive, and the monodrive means that you can mix the left and the right input signal, but it's a stereo signal that is going out, or you can have a mono return, meaning you have the left and right signal still available, but the return channel is mixed as a mono channel. I hope that is clear what that means. Okay, it's time to listen to the XL-305R. So now this is with the XL-305R activated. Let me unmute the return channel. Wow, this is so cool. I love the way that the XL-305R gives you sort of like spaciousness and glue at the same time. Let's listen to that again. Of course, I'm using this effect now way too much, but I want to get the message across. Normally you will start to try to use it a little bit more subtle, right? But still, you create this really nice room that opens up the depth and the spaciousness of the mix. So for example, let's take a listen to the synth. Okay. Wow. I love this. This is so cool. You can automate that, and try to get from one section to the other by automating that. Or you can do so much with it. But it's a sound that I really love for music that tries to be a little bit more psychedelic or a little bit more dreamy. Then the spring reverb really nails it for me. Let's try that on the drum bus. Normally you don't do that. Normally you don't go for the drum bus, but because spring reverbs have a pre-delay built inside, because the sound needs to go through the analog spring, and that will create a delay. You don't wash out the transients. And of course, Audioscape modeled that as well. So let's take a listen at the transients that are coming from the drums. And now let's go crazy with the reverb send. This is great. And especially the way that the snare gets that springy, boingy, like that is, I've grown up with dub, and that sound always has a place in my heart. So let's maybe just emphasize that just on the snare drum. Oh yeah. I get. Yeah, this is cool. Let's unsolo that. Okay, a little bit less. This is instant dub. And yeah, maybe we mono the return, so you can hear that you get more focus when you want to do that. So you lose the spaciousness, but the sound becomes more defined. And I think I would use two instances of the XL-305R. One for the stereo signal to get more room and more spaciousness. And then if I have drums and I want to have that smack and that instant like springy effect, I would use a mono return for that. But for the sake of this video, I keep it in one instance because otherwise it would be getting too complicated. But let's go back to the stereo signal. And maybe let's play around a little bit with the EQ. You can hear that these build-ups, you know, there's too much energy here in the 2K area for me. You now have this really pristine, silver, shiny effect. Let's mute the return channel. It's crazy. It's so cool that you can do that with now plugins in the box. I will do a comparison with my AKG BX5, the hardware, and the actual hardware of the XL-305 at some point in this year. But first I have to repair the BX5 because it's damaged, I think, because of the shipping. So yeah, but that's for another video. Let's listen a little bit more and I play around. Something that many dub artists did as well was to use send and returns on the send and returns. So you create those feedback loops. And I have this color copy instance, and I can activate that send so that this will go now to the XL-305, so the delay goes to the spring reverb. You hear these build-ups now, and you can make it pretty crazy. Okay, let's switch that to 8th. Ah, great. And listen to the context. Get that groove, get that feeling. And of course you could also send the XL-305 back to the delay. It's so cool that you can do that inside the DAW now, and it sounds good. That's the most important thing. It sounds good now. Okay, maybe let's listen to the XL-305. Sorry, we listen again to the 305. So that's the original from the 80s. Okay. Just start with the drums again, and we switch. So that's the XL-305 and now the 305R. It sounds a little bit more rougher to me, a little bit more gritty. Man, I cannot wait to try out the original hardware. How close they are. That's pretty cool. And let's hear that in the context of the track. Yeah, both sound great, and it just depends on what you would like to do. Seems like the 305, the original one, has a little bit more tail, or I'm just, it's more signal going in. Maybe that's it as well. I don't know. Okay. Okay, that was my first review of a plugin, namely the XL-305R by Audioscape. Highly recommend that. Cannot wait to try out the actual hardware. I will do a A/B comparison between the plugin and the original hardware, taking the plugin, then the hardware, and I'll probably add my AKG BX5 to that pool as well, and then we will see what sounds good on which material. But generally speaking, spring reverbs, they all have something to them. I know that some people have just 10 different spring reverbs. Depending on the length of the spring, you get different feedback sounds and stuff like that. So there's no right or wrong. Use what you like, but I can say now that the Audioscape plugin really is fun and it sounds cool. And also what I like is that it's really easy to operate. There's nothing to it, to be honest with you. It is what it is. It's a plugin modeled after the hardware, no menu diving, no fussing around, and that's what sometimes is really, really good. The sound is important, and then you just use it for your production. All right, I hope I see you in the next video, and let me know in the comment section below which plugin I should review or what kind of review you would like to see in the future. I'm open for everything. So thank you so much, and I see you in the next video.